Before the webinar begins, rename your Zoom name to your complete name and department and/or affiliation so that we can easily identify you. Kindly mute your microphone when not in use. Next, switch on your video if your connectivity allows you. If you have questions with regards to the presentation, there will be an open forum right after. Please type it in the chat box or use the raise hand reaction button in Zoom and unmute yourself. The session is video recorded. Recordings will be made available at the Silliman Online University Learning website. Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mayong hapon Siliman, and welcome to the Siliman University Dr. Mariano Lao ICI Pre-Computer Education Program. By the way, I am Steven Vinaro, your moderator for this afternoon, and I would like to welcome everyone for today's webinar on the topic Doodly Basics. Today, we will be learning the basic in creating professional and realistic videos using a whiteboard animation software. Without further ado, let me introduce our resource speaker this afternoon. She is a graduate of Bachelor's of Science in Business Computer Applications at Silliman University. She took her diploma in computer science at the University of the Philippines Open University. She finished 2 master's degree, Business Administration and Information Technology at Silliman University. She continued her doctorate degree in education in same university. She has a lot of experience that spans various fields such as education, research, innovation, and even information and communication technology. Because of this past experience, she has been called on to speak at various capacities in different subject matters. Despite all this, education remains her passion. Today, she continues to make strides in the education sector, working across all learning modalities towards teaching in the new normal. She is a member of faculty at the College of Computer Studies, Silliman University, also a Silliman University TBI manager. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Assistant Professor Janice Antoniette V. Forster. Ma'am Jan, the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Actually, it's almost like the last day of classes for Silliman University before we enjoy our screen break. That's the background at the back, no? So it's a summer feel. So, okay, so my task this afternoon is to share with you how to learn or how to use Doodly. No, and this is actually the basic of Doodly. So actually Doodly is very easy to use. So I'm not really I don't see why you will not be able to learn it. And at the same time, I don't think there's really any need for you to also learn how to use Doodly Basics unless you also pay some more. No? So as you probably know, Doodly is actually a licensed software, no? Unfortunately, but I will share with you later on that there are actually many other options aside from Doodly, and Doodly is just one of them. Now, and the concept is also the same, so that's why I guess now that you are going to join us this afternoon, you will also not have any hard time learning other software when once you already understand how Doodly works. Okay, so let me first give you an example of Doodly. I'm sure that you have already seen Doodly, no? At least once when you went to YouTube. You just probably did not know what software was used in creating um, those videos. So let me just share this one with you very quickly. This is only 2 minutes. And then after which I'm going to share with you other details about Doodly and how to create your own simple interface using Doodly. So let me just play this.
This is a tale of two attorneys who conduct their elder law practice in different ways. Meet Jeffrey, a veteran practitioner with decades of elder law experience. This is Janie. She is newer to elder law with less than 5 years of experience. For years, Jeffrey has drafted documents by importing excerpts from similar clients, often copying and pasting his way through a new document. Inevitably, mistakes are made that leaves the client either underwhelmed or at risk. Jeffrey is working hard, but could also be working smarter to build his practice. As a subscriber to Interactive Legal, Janie can efficiently create precision drafted documents, from care agreements and promissory notes to even the most complex of special needs trusts, all while knowing she has access to the industry's leading experts at her disposal, including access to Interactive Legal's forums where she can interact with other users and glean cutting-edge thinking. Janie's foresight to use Interactive Legal as a strategic resource means that she can confidently represent the needs of her clients. Happier clients lead to higher quality referrals, and Janie's reputation flourishes. Interactive Legal's document drafting solutions allow you to take better care of your clients as well as your practice. By being more accurate and efficient, you'll have more time to devote to what is truly important, which will ultimately make you a successful elder law attorney. Interactive Legal's drafting programs can be installed locally, or by using our cloud-hosted solution, subscribers now have the option to access documents from any internet-enabled device. Interactive Legal made certain this option is both secure and powerful by partnering with Amazon Web Services, an industry leader in virtual private cloud computing. Elder Law Pro from Interactive Legal has put Janie's law practice on a fast track to client satisfaction through enhanced productivity. To learn if Elder Law Planning Pro from Interactive Legal is the right fit to take your practice to the next level, drop us a note. An Interactive Legal professional will contact you to schedule your free demo. It's that easy.
Okay, so never mind the message of that particular video presentation, but I wanted you to appreciate more on how that particular video was created. So you have seen that aside from the drawings, it can also create colors. You have a hand that looks like it's actually drawing while talking. So that's the beauty of Doodly. No? And so in most cases, Doodly is used for short videos, more like marketing videos. And so yeah, so let me tell you more about Doodly. So Doodly, as what was introduced earlier by Steve, is that it's one of the most popular whiteboard animation software. So if you have a background in animation, this is actually considered a simple animation software. So just like any other animation software, you have your sequence, you have your layers of elements that you can put inside it. You can decide how long a particular element is displayed or animated on your screen, and so on and so forth. Now, I just would like to emphasize that aside from Doodly, there are many other software that are similar online, and it works more or less the same. Now, there are actually a lot of videos on YouTube that compares each and every one, but I do not have any background or experience using them. So I will only be discussing with you this afternoon Doodly. No? And we really find it very useful, very easy to use. No? So that's why I included here. It's highly engaging because while you are talking, no, there's an animation that also relates to what is being narrated. No, of course, it has to do with your creativity as well. You have to use your creative side here. You have to design your content in a very highly engaging manner so that you can relate it and you could design it on the video that you're going to create in Doodly. So regardless of the capability of Doodly, if you do not have a good script, if you do not have a good choice of pictures, then it will still matter. No, it might still affect the impact that it will have on your audience. But most importantly, if you have these qualities, using good Doodly to create your own marketing video or any video that would express what you want to be delivered to your audience is going to be very easy. So the quality is very professional, and what's a lot easy about it is it's only drag and drop. So if you do not have any background in Photoshop, for instance, or if you do not have any skill on creating one from scratch, now this will give you like a very engaging type of videos for your audience, because while the narrator speaks, it also creates a link to that those words and the images that they are seeing on your screen. You can also add sounds, but I will share this one and I will show you how you can do it in Doodly later on. So the following are already pre-installed on Doodly. You have scenes, you have characters, you have prompts, and aside from those that are that comes with Doodly, you could also add your own. No, so you have scenes, characters, prompts. You could also decide what kind of whiteboard, what kind of board you want to use on your final video, whether it is going to be a whiteboard, a blackboard, a green board, or a glass board video. So if any one of you here has any experience or have seen videos that were created using Doodly or probably similar output as what I have shown you in the previous video, can you chat? Something on chat? Can you engage with me? Can you write like, yes, I have seen something like this on YouTube? So can I give you like a few seconds to let me know if you have had, if you have seen a similar video on YouTube as what I have shown you earlier. Okay, I have seen some responses from the audience. Thank you so much. How about the others? Have you seen a very similar video before? I'm not saying that you would know it's Doodly, but if it's like talking at the same time, drawing on the screen, yeah, let me know, because that's basically what we will be discussing this afternoon. Okay, aside from Mom Jasmine and Mom Maybell here, anyone else who have seen a similar video on YouTube? And how did you find it, Mom Jasmine and Mom Maybell? Did you find it engaging? Do you think it's a good tool that would also engage your participants so that they will really be focused on what is being discussed on the video? Okay, of course, this is just one of those tools that you can use as a teacher, delivering your content online. And it's good that you are here. I'm happy that you are here and you that you have interest in doing these kinds of tools. Okay, so thank you so much for those who are engaging or those who are responding to my question. All right, so let me continue. So what are the strengths of Doodly? Now, so you can create video in a matter of minutes. It's powerful, it's simple and easy, and yes, it's also available whether you're using a PC or a Mac. Okay, so what I'm gonna discuss with you this afternoon, because this is basics, is how you create your a new video. So how you insert images and text, how you could manipulate them. So how you could, if in case you don't have, you could not find a video, or in case you could not find the image pre-installed in Doodly, how do you insert your own? How do you add more text? And VoiceOver is actually not part of Doodly. It's an additional software that you could integrate with Doodly, but I will also share with you very quickly how you could do that. You could also reposition, rotate, delete elements. Now, of course, like resize your elements on your screen. And then you could also choose, aside from the one that I mentioned earlier, wherein you could choose whether you want to use a whiteboard, a green board, a glass board. You could also actually choose your hand. So what kind of hand do you want to draw on your screen? Is it going to be a man's hand or a lady's hand? Is it gonna be what color, what race? And you can do that. And of course, you could also reposition your sequence. Like for example, you want a certain element on your screen to be emphasized or to be drawn first other than the others, you can do that on Doodly. And of course, how do you export it so that you could share it to your audience, whether in YouTube or on your PowerPoint presentation and etc. So yeah, so this is the interface of Doodly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my screen and I'm going to show you how Doodly looks like. No, so let me just go to Doodly. I have here, okay, so this is the interface of Doodly, but what I'm going to do is I will close this. I'll just save this one. So because I want to show you that later. And so this is what you will see the moment you open Doodly. So we are now on version 2.7.4. And this is the name of the account. It's an enterprise membership. So yes, unfortunately, you'll have to pay in order to use Doodly. I'm not paid to share this afternoon's talk with you. I'm not paid by Doodly. I'm not promoting Doodly, but I'm just saying that if you want something like this, then this is the software that you can use. No, because I believe that the other software that I mentioned that's very similar to Doodly also needs to be paid for. No, so nothing's for free. No, when it comes to animation like this. So as what I mentioned earlier, so you'll have to log in first. No, so I'm already logged in, so that's why the name of the account is here. And you can see here some of the folders that you have created before. If you have files already that you have created, then you could also open that. You can see that on that screen. You can create a folder if you want to organize your files very well. You can go to templates if you want to start creating your content using a pre-created template. But since you are new to Doodly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new video from scratch. No, so these are actually these things there here that you see on the side of your screen are the same files that you see on the lower part. So let me just go on and select create new video. And this is what I mentioned earlier. You could also decide whether your style is going to be a whiteboard, a chalkboard, a glass board, or if you want to customize it. So for instance, if you have a brand that you want to maintain, like a color combination or something, or a background that you want to maintain all throughout your animation, then you can use custom. Okay, so just in our case, maybe I'll just use whiteboard. And then you have here the title. So it's like the file name of your animation. And you can type here, like say, let me just type in, say, sample ICI presentation. Okay, or ICI talk. Okay, and here you can specify your resolution. Don't worry, even if you started with a particular setting and you want to change it later on, that can still be done. So I normally just leave it as is. This is the width, and then you have the height. You can constrain aspects so that whenever you change the width, it will also change the height. No, and that's the default setting. So once you're happy with your settings, you can just click the create button and it will bring you to this. Now, so as you can see, you have here on the left side, these are your resources. So you have here scenes, and you can already see some of those pre-created scenes on Doodly on the lower part of your screen. You have here characters. So this is where you can add, you can find other characters as well. No, so and if as you can see earlier, you saw some of the pictures that are from our TBI and KTTO offices. So yes, you can insert your own images, perhaps from other software like Photoshop, and then you can use it and make it part of your Doodly presentation. But by default, when you are new to Doodly, for instance, all you see are these images here, no, the ones that looks like illustrations, no, simple comical illustrations, and you have here the description. You can search for it as well, and you have here all, you have club, you have shared. No, so this one are your props. So there are actually a lot to choose from, so you don't have to worry about it. And as I mentioned earlier, if there's any particular crop that you or prop that you want to include in your presentation that you feel is not available in the predefined images of Doodly, you can just click on the plus sign. No, so you can just click plus sign and then you can just drag your images. So it's really very easy. I know that some of you may have a problem downloading a files and then finding it afterwards. So you just drag it, no? And you can also associate a title with it so that later on, if you search for it using the title on this side of your screen, you can find it very easily. So you'll be the one to indicate the name of that particular image. So you will easily remember it. Okay, and then here you have your text. No, so as what you have seen in this example video earlier, there were texts as well. So yes, you can add placeholders on Doodly using these fonts, and I'll show you how to do that later. And of course, you can add sounds, and these sounds can be also uploaded from other sources. So I'm sure some of you here are already very good in getting sounds or soundtracks from other sources. Aside from YouTube, there are many other websites where you can download sounds for free, no, without any risk of being sued, no, because it's under Creative Commons, so you can just reuse it. So yes, you can just use it here. You can add here some of the sounds that you might want to integrate on your presentation, and that sounds could be either a soundtrack or an effect, no, to whatever animations you're creating on your screen. And then this one is the marketplace. So yes, there are a lot of other, you might be interested to buy other elements here, no, so like props and other characters that are also part of the business model of Doodly. So yes, Doodly also has that option, no? So you can buy from Doodly additional images that you feel might be important for you to relay your message. But I'd like to emphasize that even if you don't have access to this, even if you only make use of what is available for free online, because as I mentioned, you can always add audio or soundtracks or images from online, or you can create your own using Photoshop and integrate it with Doodly. So you can really create fascinating, very beautiful videos on Doodly even without buying anymore. All right, so so here is your screen. So it's basically like your stage, no? It's your stage in Doodly. Now it's also called a stage in other software that's for animation. And on this side, now very simple interface. You have here your save, you have your save as, and I hope you already know the difference. If you select save and you have already saved this one, so initially earlier when you created this file, you were already asked to create or to specify a name, and that's already indicated here, sample ICI talk. So that's your file name. So if each time you click on save, it will save it using this particular file name. But if you want to save it on other file name, then you click on save as. And then here you have the preview. I'll share with you how this one is used later on. And once you are done and happy with your animation and with the final result of your work, you can select export. No? So, and then you have your seed settings, which I will also discuss with you earlier, and then your tools. So if you want to make it farther or closer, no? So this is your zoom option. And this is where you can find the layers later on of the elements that you insert. No, and then this is your like your, how do you call this, layers, no? So like you have layers in Photoshop. So let me go back first on where you could get your characters. So let's just say that you want to create a marketing video for, let's say, a house that you're selling, no? So I just would like to make it I'd like to make this one more generic rather than something that's really very concentrated on as a tool for teaching. So you can do anything. No, your imagination is the limit here. So I'm gonna show you how, say for example, you could convince someone to by a particular house. No? So let's say you want to insert a building, so you can type in your keyword and all the buildings that are part of Doodly's pre-installed images will be shown. So there are actually a lot. And as I mentioned, if you don't find any here to your liking, then you can always just download it from the internet and insert it here. So all you have to do once you find something is just to drag it on your stage. And so as you can see, it's already there. No? And so when you drag it, notice that just like in Microsoft Word, you find your placeholder. So you have here your handles that you can use to resize the image. So as you resize, notice that you can also see the width and the height of the image that you're trying to resize. No, so this is very important, especially if you want to maintain a particular scaling, no, all throughout your animation. So you can do that, or you can estimate, no, the size of your elements. Now this one is to flip it. So notice you have your chimney on the right side of this image, but if you flip it, it will be the other way around. No, so flip, and this one is for you to bring it forward. So for example, let's say that you have two images on top of each other. Now the beauty of the predefined images on Doodly is that it is transparent. Now it doesn't have any background. So say for example, you want to include this one here right next to the house, but you want this to be behind the house. So all you have to do is to click bring forward, or you have here send backward. So this one is very similar to what you already know. That is also available in simple software like Microsoft Word. So you can click on send backward and it will already be placed behind the house that you want to show on your stage. No? So example lang na siya. Okay, now, and then here is, of course, if you want to remove a particular design, then you can just click on any of this and then click on remove. So for example, you want to remove the house, you have your own set of settings here. So you have your flip, you have your bring forward, bring back, or ascend backward, you have your remove, and that is only for this house. For this particular building, you also have your own set of options. And if you have noticed, the first icon is actually on asset settings. So let me go ahead and click that. And you have here your X and your Y. So if you have noticed, X and Y is actually the position of your element on your screen. You have your width and your height if you are an OC, so you can really see what's the width and the height of your image. You have here the rotate option. So if you want to rotate this, for example, by 5 or 6%, then you will see that it's actually rotated a little bit. Now, so you have your flip, which is the same as the option that I have shown you earlier. You have your color, but take note that color is unfortunately another add-on in Doodly. So if you want to add color here, but if you did not pay for the color colored option of creating animations in Doodly, then it will not work. No, so let's just leave that as is. So let's just assume that we will be creating here like illustration in like only strokes in Doodly. Now, but again, remember that if you are adding photos here that are already colored, so just like what I have shown you earlier, there were pictures of us or backgrounds that we include in our talks and it's already colored, then it will appear colored. But if you use the predefined icons or predefined elements like illustrations in Doodly and you want it to be converted into colored, you have to pay for it now separately. So no matter how much you change this will not work. So let's just leave it as is, because these are not images that are taken from online. This is part of Doodly. And then this one is the opacity. So if you want it to be 100% black, then you have to use, or solid, then you have to use 100%. If you want it to be lighter, okay, I want you to see the difference. I'm going to change this one to the opacity of 50 and let me show you how it looks like. So it's actually lighter than before. If I'm going to set this one, wait for a while. Okay, sorry, you have to click on apply. It was covered earlier. So you have to set this one to 50. You have to apply. And if you have noticed, it's now lighter than it was earlier. No, so that's opacity. So the higher you are to 100%, the more solid it gets, or the more solid it becomes. No, so if you want it to be very light, sort of like a kanang faded effect on your final output, then you have to change this one to a smaller opacity value. And then you have your animation effect. No, so if you don't want it to be drawn, no, then you just use none. If you want it to be drawn, just like the hand drawing it, so just leave it as draw. I will get back to this one later so that you'll see the difference. And then you have here the animation duration. So this is 3 seconds. So depending on you really, no? So if you want to create a very quick video, then you can specifically decide how each of those elements will be displayed on your screen, whether it's only 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, or you want it to be really drawn slowly, that you want it to be finished in 10 seconds, then you can set a higher value here. And then while that one is being drawn, what kind of sound do you want to hear? So the default is just like in PowerPoint, there is no sound, no, by default, but you can add sounds later. So I'll show you that one in a bit. And then you have your exit animation. It's none, so it's just left there after drawing. So this is very similar to PowerPoint. You have your entry animation and you have your exit animation. So let me just go ahead and apply this, and then let's see how it looks like given the current settings. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just click on video on preview, and let's see what happens. So notice you have a hand. It draws first the background at the back, and then it erases a little bit and adds the house. So why is it that that setting is being used by Doodly? And first and foremost, it's because in your layers, as you can see here, each time you create an element from this side of your screen to your stage, it creates a layers. And so this sequence here, so like being the building at the top and then next to it is the house, is also the sequence as to how it will be animated or displayed on your screen. So for instance, if you want the house to be created first and then the building, all you have to do is to drag this one higher. So in this case, the house comes first and then the building. And so when you preview this, you will notice that the house is being drawn first, and then it erases a little bit and creates the building at the back. But then of course, it also affects your settings. So earlier we did it in such a way that, let me close that, in such a way that we actually set it backward. So that's why it was like this earlier. So the same way, if so in this case, it's the building that will be created first and then the house. Now, so if you put it at the back, it will automatically be placed on the higher level. No, so that's why that's the sequence. Now, so how about the other option? So after drawing, if you have noticed, it only stayed on your screen. No, so it creates the building first, erases a little bit, and then adds the house, and then that's it. It stays on your screen. Now, so what other settings can you do? So let's say, for example, after it creates the house, you want it to be to have an exit animation. So just click erase. So what will happen is that if I'm going to apply that, and if you're going to click preview, after drawing the house, okay, it will erase the house. Okay, as simple as that. So as you can see, you're already creating animation very easily. Now also, if you remember, under asset settings, you have here, here you have your enter animation 3 seconds. So this setting here is also the same as what you can see on your layers palette on the right side. So say, for example, you want this to be drawn longer, say 10 seconds. And then you apply that, notice that it's now also on your timeline, no? So because when you create, this is like your first slide, if sa PowerPoint pa, the sequence is that it will also be displayed on your screen based on the total number of seconds. So you have 3 seconds for this building, you have another 10 seconds for the house. So that explains why from here up to this point, it actually reflects here, you have here the number of seconds that's already equivalent to 13, and you have other stuff here as well. So what else? You have your, yeah, so you have your draw, you have your sound. Yeah, let's try the sound. So let's see that while it creates a sound, it you have here your, let's say, cash register. No, because you know that if this house is equivalent to money. Okay, so let's just do that and let's preview. So there you go. That's the sound effect. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I was supposed to close this one. All right. So far so good. No, so now let's say you want to add text. No, so let's just click on the text option here. You can actually search for a name of a font. And if you're not happy with the fonts that are available here, you can always click add. And you can always add any font that you get from other sites. Now, I know you know how to add fonts to Microsoft Word already. So this is also the same setting. You add a font on Doodly, and all you have to do is to download it and drag it here. So say, for example, let's say you like this font and you want to create a placeholder using that font. So just drag it, and then you have your text. So all you have to do is double click, and then this is now your text. You can just highlight that and say, do you want to invest in a new home? Something like that, no? So you have here your word wrap. If you really feel like it's very long, it cannot fit on one line, you have your option done, and you have it here. Now, remember that your sequence is that it will first create the building and then the house and then your text. So again, if you want to create the text first, you just have to, or you want the text to be animated first, you have to drag it higher. And so this is what will look like now. Okay, so it will first create, do you want to invest in a new home? Okay, I always forget. Okay. All right, so let me just close this, and there you go. So there's also what you call a scene setting. So in a scene setting, you have here use board and hand style from video settings on. You have to switch that off, and then you can choose. So far, do you have any questions so far? No, I think I was trying to discuss what you could do with your yeah, so what you could do if you want to put, you want to animate the text first, so you just have to drag the layer containing the text first, no? So as you can see here, the default is that it will be 1.5 seconds, and then you have the building, and then you have the home. So when you preview that, there you go. No, so wait, I'm trying to understand why it will not apply the settings. Cartoon hands, you have here actually options also to use cartoons, and I could not understand why. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it's now actually working. No, earlier it wasn't working for some reason. Okay, so you can choose different hand options. And so the question may be, what if you want to create a sound, no, like a background? Okay, so what do you do? Okay, so let me just hide this. Okay, so all you have to do is just to go to sounds and then just choose background here that you might want. As I said, if you have a background that you get from online and you want to integrate onto your Doodly, all you have to do is to click the plus sign. I have a favorite here, A New Hope, and all you have to do is, so if you have noticed here in your layers, you have a layer that has the image icon. So this is where you actually insert all those scenes, now with the pictures and the text. This is where you add your sounds, and this is where you add your narration. So yes, you can add narration. So you have here record and audio, so you can actually do a recording of your own, or you can also create one from another software and then just add it here. So let's just say I have music or a soundtrack that I want to be used for this particular animation. So all you have to do is to drag it and then release on this particular layer that has the sound icon. So very simple, no? Because all you have to do, if you change your mind, you don't want that anymore, just right click and then you have here delete. Now you also have duplicate. Say for example, if it ends already because it's a short audio and you still have other animations to show, just select duplicate and you could reuse it as well. And then you have here fade in, fade out. I'm sure you know what that means, no? So at the start of the animation, it doesn't go to the full volume first. So you have here fade in and then fade out. Okay, so let's listen to how it will be like now. Okay, so it erases the house afterwards because it's under the scene settings. Sorry, it's under the house settings here. This one, set settings, you have an erase animation. So if you leave it as none, then it will not erase the house after animating it. So it actually also shortens the entire animation number of seconds or duration, because it does not spend time anymore removing that house after drawing it. Okay, so what else? So let's say you want to add another slide. So after this, say for example, you have a new scene. Okay, so just click add a new scene and it creates a new blank scene. You can always increase or decrease this, no, the scene. So the duration of that particular scene, in other words, and you can just add here some more. So let's say you're going to create just add something here. Let's say so you can just do this, and then you can just duplicate this, no, and also send backwards and send forward. You can just copy this and then paste it again, and you have here exactly the same text, or you can drag it from scratch again, no. So just double click to edit the text. Let's say durable, affordable. If you want to do that individually, no, then you can do that as well. So and durable, affordable, and accessible. Okay, now say Nana, and so how it will look like now. Okay, so very easy, right? Very easy. I'm sure it's something that anyone can make. Now, so you have here record audio. So yes, you could actually record your own audio here. So you can start like, do you want to invest in a new home? Try this home that is located in Dumaguete City. Okay, so just an example, no? So as you can see, because I practiced it while that animation was shown, no? So you will actually hear my voice here already. So if you're going to preview, okay, so that's that's just a very rough example. No, it even recorded the first few things I said earlier. But in our case, we actually have a different software that we're using. We don't use our own voices. There are many voices that are available online, but in our case, we're using Tokia. So Tokia is also another paid software. What's nice about Tokia is you can just type in here whatever you want. So for example, do you want to invest in a new home? So this is how it works now. So you can just type in the text that you want. You have here emphasis, reduced, normal, moderate, strong. So here it has description. Reduced meaning decreases the volume and speeds up the speaking rate. Normal, maintain the volume and the speaking rate. Increases the moderate is increases the volume and slows the speaking rate, but less than strong. And here strong means increases the volume and slows the speaking rate. Aside from that, you could also specify whether you want a male or a female to narrate your text, this text that you are typing in at the moment. And then here, you even have translation. No? So as you can see, no, you have translate text here to another language if you are not sure. No, like say for example, you have a company and you want to create a marketing video for another country with a different language, then you can use Tokia to translate it correctly. No, and then so again, going back, we have male or female. Let's say you want a male, and so you could choose here any narrators, no, whether it is from this particular country. So say for example, you are creating a marketing video for Denmark. So you choose probably someone. Sometimes it has a plus factor, no, that you have an accent that's also from Denmark. So you can use this, no. So you even have a preview here if you want. Yeah. So if you apply that, so it will be using that particular voice. And you have here the speed, slow, normal, or fast, and you can actually test it out like by clicking speak it. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes it's funny for us, but it's actually for them who are from that country, it's something that is normal. And sometimes, as I said, if you want to sell something, it has a plus factor if the narrator is also from their own country. So there's no discrimination. So something like that. So you have speak it. Yeah, and then you can also change the pitch, not to a higher pitch or a lower pitch. So test it. Or you can lower the pitch. You can also make it slower for the speed. Okay, so of course you have to test it whether it's really normal or not. So, but anyway, this is what you can do, no? So yeah, so once you are happy with what you're hearing, you can just click add to timeline and it will be added here. Let me just delete the previously created one. Add to timeline, so it will be created here. And then you can actually export this. So you can save this and export. Let's say I'm going to save this. Okay, wait, where did I? Okay, so let's say, do you want to invest? Okay, let's just save it under music, save. And so if I go back to, you're seeing this, right? Yeah, so if you want to go back to Doodly, you just have to go to sounds and then add, and then look for the file. I saved it under music. So it's here. Do you want to invest? Click open and continue. So it's now here. No, it's now in my library. And all I have to do is to drag it here. So let me just delete this one first. Delete. And then drag this new one. And so when I preview this, I think we had a problem. We forgot to change the speed of the talk earlier. So yeah, basically, that's how easy it is to make Doodly animation. No, I'm afraid it's already close to 3 p.m. So I'll just wrap this one up with how do you, when you're done, for instance, what do you do next? So let's say that you are happy, or you have already converted or inserted as many slides and text and animation as you want. Here, I just want to add, no, you can always adjust this, no, but of course the default has to do with the content that you put on that particular scene, no. So you have here all the scenes with a particular duration, so it affects how overall that the entire scene will be finished drawing, quote unquote. And then, so assuming that you have added as many slides as you want, another very cool way is you can always go to scenes here. You can always just drag this one on your screen like this, and it already has predefined drawings. So these are actually 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just imagine what you're supposed to do. So it's actually like putting all of those smaller props earlier together. No, so if you just put that on top of each other, you can come up with a drawing like this. So because it doesn't have a background, you can create like a real setup, no, from each and every different element that you get from Doodly. And so as you can see, it extends up to here, no? I hope not beyond our music, so up to here. So yes, we still have background music left. You can always remove that. So once you're happy with it, so as you can see for this particular scene, no, you have a lot of elements, so you have a lot of layers there. So it will be drawn one by one, depending again on your settings. So if you don't want animation for that particular element on your screen, just go to settings and remove the animation. So just remove draw, so that when you click none, it will not be drawn. It will be there as if it will be there the moment that scene is shown. So let me just emphasize that. Say for example, from here, no, let's say that when you start this video or this animation here, you want this building to be there already, no, not drawn by hand. So you just have to go to scene, change this to none, so that when you play, okay, so notice that the building was already there, no, immediately. No, it was not drawn anymore by the hand. All right, so so once you're happy, once you're done with all your animation, you save your work again. So as I said, this is saved using the file name that you specified in the beginning. If you save this one again, you can type in a new file name. No, and so that's basically it. And when you export, you click on export. You just have to specify what format you want to save it for. And then you have the resolution, the files, the number of frames per second. You have 30 by default. You have the quality, and you click continue. And then once it's done, no, because it will take some time, no, depending on the number of elements in your scene. So it will take up to 100%. Of course, I'll just cancel this. And it will already be saved using the format. So either MP4, MKV, OGG, or WebM. Now, normally, if it is for presentation purposes, we just save it as the default MP4 and then insert it as part of your presentation or upload it on YouTube, etc. And there you have your very nice animated Doodly presentation. So I guess that's all. It's already 3:01. Thank you so much for listening. I'd like to... Okay. Yeah, I guess earlier you were not able to hear the sound. So let me just play it again. Sorry, I just read the message of Steve. But so here, I'll just play.
Do you want to invest in a new home?
I'll not finish that. So I hope that makes it clear. And if you have any question, you can just type it in. I'll answer it. And then, yeah. So thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with me learning how to use Doodly, and I hope that this will inspire you to create beautiful content, for your classes, for whatever endeavors you have, personal endeavors you have. And thank you so much again for this opportunity to share what I know. So Steve, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Jan. That was very interesting. I also learned a lot. So if you have questions to our resource speaker, please unmute yourself or type it on the chat box. So I think there is no questions. Allow me to proceed. Allow me to read the citation. Issued Dr. Mariano Lau, ICI for Computer Education Program Certificate of Recognition presented to Assistant Professor Janice Antoniette V. Forster for sharing her valuable knowledge as a resource speaker during the issue Dr. Mariano Lau, ICI for Computer Education with the topic Doodly Basics via Zoom online on April 23, 2022. Given this 23rd day of April on the year of our Lord 2022. Signed by our very own project leader, of the Dr. Mariano Lau ICI Laboratory, and also the director of Silliman Online University Learning, Dr. Dave E. Marshall. So kindly fill out the post-webinar survey for this afternoon for you to be able to get your e-certificate. And I will post it on the chat box. All right. Before we will end, let us have a photo opportunity with our resource speaker. So may I request everyone for the photo opportunity. If your connectivity allows you, please turn on your video camera. There are 2 frames. So please hold on your smile for a few seconds. First frame, second frame, and thank you. This is Steve, the project staff of Dr. Lau ICI Laboratory. Thank you for joining us. See you on Saturday.